have our event director. We'll plant the first tree. We wait for your day. And the rest we'll do later. Good morning. Good morning. The rest we'll do. Let's face the camera. Put it down. Good enough. Yes. We'll do the rest. We'll do the rest. Everyone's learning.
I'll invite the Director Research to give his remarks.
Allow me to welcome us to this year's annual International Multi-Disciplinary Conference. It is our fourth international conference. It's an annual event that we held the last 4 years. And we moved from a small event to a platform where we can share our findings. In the Kisumu National Polytechnic, the order that brings us into creation, research and innovation plays a critical role in us achieving our mandate. And one of those roles is undertaking research activity. Also required by the same order to find platforms for dissemination of these.
To our guests and all the participants of this international conference, allow me to read a message from our Chief Principal, who is also the Secretary to the Governing Council of the Kisumu National Polytechnic. That is Madam Catherine Teloni. I'm delighted to welcome you all to the Kisumu National Polytechnic and to the fourth Kisumu National Polytechnic Annual International Multidisciplinary Conference and second National Skills Competition and Exhibitions. It is indeed gratifying that this event is taking place at a time when the whole world and the country in particular is on the recovery path after devastation caused by COVID-19 pandemic. It is in appreciation of this reality that the Kisumu National Polytechnic settled on the theme Research, Innovation and Skills towards Transformative and Resilient Economy. This conference is deliberately designed to provide an opportunity for researchers and innovators to showcase and disseminate their research findings and innovations. In addition, the conference also provides an avenue for collaborations and partnerships between the academia and industry. Esteemed participants, the sub-themes of this conference were carefully tailored to address present and emerging challenges facing humanity. Food production and security, for instance, it is increasingly becoming a matter of global concern. The sub-theme on food security, agricultural value chains provides an opportunity for the researchers to address critical issues such drivers of food systems and economic development, advancement technologies and automation in agriculture, biotechnology in agriculture, food processing, transformative value chains for accelerating economic recovery, innovation and network networking markets for sustainable economy, and social enterprise and entrepreneurship towards resilient organizations. I am pleased to report that
my name is Joseph Sunguti, and I'm the county director for Tibet for this county, Siaya, Kakamega, and Vihiga. I wish to take this opportunity to welcome all of you to Kisumu National Polytechnic and to this important 4th annual Multi-Disciplinary Conference and 2nd National Skills Competition. I wish to pass my own personal remarks, then those of my boss and director. First of all, I would like to start with mine. While we appreciate the significance of research and innovation in any institution, be it government, department, or a private entity, it is necessary to note that it should lead to economic well-being of the people, not a research per se. The theme of this conference is research, innovation, and skills towards a transformative and resilient economy. Simply put, it means that the research, innovation, and acquisition of skills should result in an economic good. Today, the economic goods have been eroded by many factors to an extent that we require recovery mechanism. We have a very high inflation in the country, and hence the purpose of this meeting. When economic goods become scarce, we witness inflation, witness unemployment, hunger, and many other unpleasant risks of life.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. As you heard in the introduction, I'm Deputy Director with the Ministry of the Imperial State Department of Education and Training. I'm representing PS Dr. Margaret Makima. She wanted to be with you. We received the invitation, and she was to be with you in this activity. But because of other engagements, actually she is out of the country where the chief principal is. And it so happened that I was doing other activities around, and I was told to step in and represent her. In fact, just about 20 minutes ago, I received a call from her. She wanted to confirm whether I'll be here to represent her in this very, very important conference. This shows that she takes such activities very seriously, and it is because this is the way to go in this Tibet subsector. So I have a statement that she would have wanted to deliver. I'll read it. Director KP, council members present, principals from other Tibet institutions present, the deputy principal, registrars, deans, heads of departments, NIADEC community, and exhibitors. Good morning. The 2030 agenda for sustainable development states or affirms the global leadership determination to hold and take steps that needs to be taken to shape the world to a sustainable and resilient path. The transformation requires breaking through the path dependency that defines the way things are done. The 4 barriers to this transformation are the inadequate human resource, institutional capacity, institutional rigidity that leads to diminished institutional capacity to adapt to the changes, and also inadequate social momentum for change and socio-cultural factors, gender and other dimensions of inequalities, and imbalance in access to education. To mitigate these challenges, our government is employing the following strategies to ensure transformation towards a sustainable and resilient society. These strategies include: 1. Transformative skills-based industry-driven education system. As you are aware, as a country, we have adopted CBET. CBET is a complete departure from the way curriculum was being delivered in Kenya, where the emphasis is the acquisition of skills, where the industry is involved right from the stage of developing the curriculum, implementing the curriculum, and also the assessment. Today, more than ever before, our graduates must be able to perform not only non-routine creative tasks, but also hands-on on highly specialized skills if they are to succeed on the competitive job market. Specialized skills, creativity, critical thinking are very relevant in this age, where the ability to excel at work is not only rewarded, but expected as a basic requirement. 2, the investment in research, innovation, and development. In fact, at the ministry level, we are emphasizing that TVET institutions must set aside a minimum, or at least 2% of their budget to support research and development at the institutional level. As our society becomes increasingly technological, STEM education must evolve and innovate to ensure we are launching effective engineers, scientists, and mathematicians into the industry and academia. Innovation and creative problem solving are key to meeting our societal needs, strengthening the national economy, and solving global problems. Thank you. It's my pleasure now to declare this conference officially opened.
Patterson from the University of New England. Professor, welcome.
Good morning. It's very, very much an honor to be here as part of this conference. My name is Dr. Richard Peterson from the University of New England in Portland and Biddeford, Maine, where it is very cold. So we are acclimating to the heat. This visit is part of a regular, every 2 years, sometimes 3 years, bringing students to Kenya for approximately 3 weeks to be able to learn from the many Kenyan organizations that are working so hard to bring about the themes of this conference, a sustainable and resilient economy. And it has been customary that we have engaged with NIADEC in a variety of symposia, mini symposia, where our students are collaborating with Kenyan knowledge about various aspects of sustainable development in our respective countries. I am very grateful to the directors, organizers of this conference for allowing us to attend and be a part of this day. The themes of this conference are spot on in terms of what is needed across the world in terms of bringing innovation and technological development, technological growth. The world is changing so quickly. The themes that have already been mentioned and that I see in the abstracts are some of the same things that our university is trying to work on. The theme of the blue economy is something that we are very much involved in. We live right on the coast of the Atlantic Ocean. It is a very, fishing is a very big part of our economy. But our ocean is warming due to climate change faster than any other 99% of the oceans in the world. Our Gulf of Maine is warming faster than all of the other oceans. So we are really challenged by how do we adapt to that changing ocean environment. What are some of the opportunities that we can do to serve our local communities? On behalf of all of us, I'd like to say thank you for allowing us to be part of your activities today. It's a great honor to be here. Thank you very much.
Chief guests, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. Good afternoon. Yes, it is just noon. So, my name is Janet Kisio. I come from Kenya Industrial Institute, KIPI, it is the IP office. And I'm standing in for John Onyango, who is our MD, saying his apologies for not attending this meeting, which is actually at home. So my duty is just to read this speech. I will not add anything, no subtract anything. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It feels great that after 2 years of keeping off any physical gathering due to COVID-19 pandemic, we are once again congregating here today to celebrate the 4th annual International Multi-Disciplinary Conference and 2nd National Skills Competition here at Kisumu National Polytechnic. For the sake of time, I straight away move into making my brief remarks on the transformative and economic resilience, the role of intellectual property rights in the age of research and innovation in Kenya. As a reminder, on the March 12th,
from Nyandarua National Polytechnic, and I am the Research and Development Director in that institution. And so the title of my study is Institutional and Trainees Awareness and Preparedness over COVID-19 Pandemic, a case study of Nyandarua National Polytechnic. The general objective of this study was to assess the institutional and trainees awareness and preparedness over COVID-19 pandemic on reopening for graded training and learning. The specific objectives for this study were: 1, to establish trainees awareness of the World Health Organization protocol and the Ministry of Education guidelines on COVID-19 pandemic. The other objective was to find out whether trainers and trainees were equipped to facilitate graded learning and training, adhering to the protocols and guidelines put in place. And the third objective was to assess the training and learning infrastructure and equipment put in place to facilitate the blended training and learning. The study population, which involved or consisted of 2,301 trainees and 9 heads of department. The study found out that only 1% of the respondents could not be able to tell or to define what COVID-19 was. Over 20% of the respondents were not aware 1.5 meters distance recommended by World Health Organizations to prevent themselves from getting infected. 40% of the respondents had never attended any COVID-19 sensitization program or session.
Collins Odinga from the Catch TDC, I'm the HOD Research and Innovation. So I want to look at a paper having a topic, harnessing of cheap solar energy by use of plastic to supply electricity for online learning. So the segment of the problem, during the COVID-19 pandemic, most of our students could not afford power. I want to confess that, including me, as a trainer, I found difficulty in accessing electricity because from the village where I come from, we realized that the grid hasn't reached there, and the current solar system that we use is very expensive, and most of us from the vulnerable families cannot afford such solar system. So our objectives of my study was to examine the efficiency of plastic cells through the addition of polymers. Number two, to find out how cheap plastic make electrical energy together with free sunlight for online learning. And number three, to assess the effectiveness of harnessing solar power using plastic solar cells for online learning. We consider using plastic solar cells. We can use them both at home and also in our institutions, because sometimes we have unreliability with our grid. So the plastic solar cells. So the plastic solar cells generally are made from what we call polymers. So these polymers help in the conversion of sunlight to electricity through availability of the free electrons, which are responsible for the transfer of electricity. So how do we print plastic solar cells? Plastic solar cells are printed by a technology called a nanotechnology. So this nanotechnology confines the plastics, and so the nanotechnology is working in a manner that we have special printers. So these special printers, are responsible to print the plastic solar cells. So you realize that a glass will be put, just as the first layer there is glass. So a glass is put on top of the special printer. Then we have a plastic ink poured on top of the glass. So this ink consists of two polymers. We have the green polymer there, and we have red polymers. So whenever there is an interaction, or at the edges of the two polymers, you realize that there will be production of charges. You consider we have a yellow point somewhere here. So at that interface, where you have the green and the red polymers, the interaction between those two will lead to production of charges. And of course, you normally have a positive charge and a negative charge. In real sense, the unlike charges to attract. So somebody will ask me, so when positive and negative charges attract, how are you going to achieve production of electricity? So that is where now the polymers come in. The green polymers will separate the positive charges towards the glass, and the red polymers will take the charges towards the negative pole. So you realize that the glass will act as a positive pole of this cell, and whenever now we have the ink, that is where whenever you have the A, is referred to as a positive, an active layer. So an active layer generally means this is a layer where the production of electricity is achieved.
To present, actually it's not a paper per se, but it is a project, and we're going to call it Human Kinetic Off-Grid Green Power Supply System. Just as the presenter before me acknowledged, electrical energy is the driver of the economy. Electrical energy is good because it is clean and can be easily controlled. However, we have challenges on how we produce this electrical energy. In some instances, we end up presenting or producing electrical energy using not so green technologies. I'm not anti-development, but from where I sit, I believe that all the nuclear reactors in the universe should be decommissioned. That is what I believe. Reason being that disposal of the waste from these reactors poses a great environmental challenge. When we come to diesel power generation or fossil fuel, they cause a lot of environmental harm because of the carbon footprint that they leave behind. So it is my conviction that we must look for greener ways of generating electrical energy. And that is the reason why we came up with these projects. In terms of breakdown of the sources of energy, the most unfortunate thing is that the highest percentage, at 40%, we are talking of fossil fuel that leaves a huge carbon footprint. We have the carbon dioxide, global warming as a result of both. Look at all these, the top three: oil, gas, coal. They are not clean. They are not clean. Renewable energy is at a very low point. But this is the best that we could use. There are a number of sources where we can tap green energy. One of them is solar. By large, it's one of the most promising. We have hydroelectric, we have biomass, we have wind, we have tidal currents, and geothermal. In our republic, I'm happy to report that this is one of the most promising. Actually, our geothermal potential is quite huge. If we were to invest in that, then we'll take care of innovative means of scavenging for electrical energy from human kinetic motion. Allow me to use the term scavenging because the need is so there that from where I sit, I believe that any source of energy that can be tapped, that is green, should be tapped. So ours is an innovative way that allows us to generate electrical energy from kinetic motion. What do you mean by kinetic motion? When you walk, the kinetic energy of the motion is wasted. So we are looking at a way of converting this energy that would have otherwise been wasted into electrical energy that can be tapped and used, that can be used to replace those also green energy sources. Our objectives were to design a human kinetic power generation system and to design and implement a microgrid green power supply system. And this project I worked with my trainees from the electrical department, so it's not entirely my own innovation. I'm just a presenter. I like the methodology. So the system is designed to capture human kinetic energy from the walking or the running motion of the body. So we are talking of a generation system that will capture the energy that I dispense as I walk, for instance, on this stage. Otherwise that energy would have been wasted. So this is achieved by converting the resulting force of the weight of the human body And this is that would have otherwise been transferred to the ground by the food step, and we convert them into some useful mechanical torque. And the torque would now be transferred to an electrical generator that will convert the mechanical energy into electrical energy. Would consist of the energy harvester. This is the point where the human kinetic energy is tapped. And then it is converted into pneumatic energy. We decided to use a pneumatic system. And this pneumatic energy is able to be transferred into a generator to give us electrical energy. Any electrical system must also have some control. So we'll have voltage regulation and the control system and a user interface that allows the user to interact with the system. As I said, this is a project that has been developed. So that was our prototype. It actually is a proof of concept that this concept can work. Now, when you look at these metallic panels, they are made in such a way that they are movable. So when somebody walks on top of these panels, then is able to exert the energy and the panels are able to move. If you are able to put those conveyors at the entry point of a stadium, you will be able at the end of the day to generate enough energy to run all activity in that stadium without going for another external source. Churches, we are very religious. We go to churches on a Sunday, on a good day, on Friday, whatever day you pray. When you go to your prayer of worship, at your place of worship, we have hundreds of people passing through a certain point, probably one gate or two gates, one door. If you're able to put the systems in these points where the traffic is very high, you generate enough energy to run probably the needs of that church for a whole week, because the church activity probably is just twice or thrice a week to be able to run it off-grid. We're talking about microgrid. Creating off-grid and you're still able to sustain your electrical energy needs. So what we say, the applications are many, and they're real-life applications. We concluded that the systems could be implemented by both national and county governments in high human traffic places, so as to supplement the other energy sources that we do have. Of course, it can also be used in our streets if we slightly change the design of our system so that they can be strong enough to carry the weight of motor vehicles. And we put them in our roads. Then we'll be able to generate enough power to light our streets and also to power our traffic light system. That is another application.
Once again, I'm saying my name is Anthony Mayaki. I work with the Moi University. As the technology transfer officer. So I will take my keynote address to read something like intellectual property, propelling innovations in sustainable resource utilization. One thing we should know is that countries that are considered advanced, countries that are considered developed, if you look at them, they are not dependent so much on the raw material. It's not the raw material, but the intellectual property. It's the creativity. The person that has a link to information is the person that sets the rules. The person that has linked to information is the person that sets the rules. And I've come in my observation, visiting some of those countries, and training in some of those countries, I realized that raw material is basically a raw deal. Raw material is basically a raw deal. Now, issues of innovation, when we are talking about the ages that have been moving, we kind of are moving away from or we are still in the information age, or it's a mixture of information age and the fourth industrial revolution. Sometimes I just tend to think those are semantics. But basically what those terms, in my opinion, mean is that they are giving a lot of stress on innovation, a lot of stress on creativity, whether in the issues of just creating for the purpose of creating, but on the issue of sustainability. You need creativity to sustain yourself. You need creativity to actually be able to move around, for health and all the other purposes. So, when you think of it from that format, my observation also over time is this. Human beings want to be comfortable. They want to be comfortable. But at the same time, or they want honor, they want comfort, they want to look special. But at the same time, they want to sustain. They want sustainability. So there's that kind of picture you have at the back of your mind that somebody else will be doing it while me I'm enjoying my life, or somebody else will be doing it. Those are just my observations. Somebody else should be taking care of the animals and the rivers make them their clean, but I should be having a certain lifestyle that also show them that I'm actually better than them. Now, I tend to think that in itself is also a factor that is going to affect sustainability. When we will appear that we are better. I want to give this example. One time I'm doing this training in a university called Uppsala in northern Sweden. And as we are taken through a certain graph or ecosystem explanation, you see actually the way they are managing their ecosystems and sustainability, the animals, the birds, and how they relate with the farmers and all that. But one thing I observed is that...
Okay, my name is Emma. I'm a trainer at Ubuja TVC.
My name is Sumuda. I'm from Ubuja.
Our project is called, the project actually fodder mixer and pelletizer machine. Okay, the project addresses the gap that exists in farm machine. In our project, we carried out a study of two machines. One, we look at the fodder miller. Secondly, we look at the shaft cutter sheller combination. Okay. We realized that fodder miller only prepares animal feed and it ends there. Whereas shaft cutter, it cuts the animal feeds and then it ends there. Our project aims at designing, fabricating, and testing a fodder miller mixer compressor combination machine. This machine will be able to compress the product into blocks, pellets, or briquettes. The machine is running on a one single-phase 3 horsepower machine motor. The horsepower, there's a provision for it being run by solar for those who cannot get the electricity. The main beneficiary of this project will be the universities, research institutes, and our farmers. Now, the objective of the project, one, is to design, fabricate fodder mixer and pelletizer running on a single motor. Number two, we are going to test the fodder mixer and pelletizer against expected return. Other objectives that we shall achieve as a result of this project is to increase production rate of processed fodder and at the same time improve farming method and equipment. Next slide. Now, for those who have not seen shaft cutter, this is how shaft cutter looks like. What shaft cutter? Next slide. Now, this is how we are going to go about fabricating the machine.
Now, if I pick up from where I left, when you look at the Western region, most of our farming is done seasonal. And most of the time when you harvest, for example, you harvest the maize, you find that the livestock feed that are used from the maize byproducts, there are usually so many, and the cows that are available by the farm, they cannot be used all at once. So you end up having a lot of wastage from the farm byproducts. And from our design, we designed this machine. It can be used to mix. At the beginning, from this end, it mixes with suitable mixers and binders that can be used. At the circular place, it compresses. And at the end, it gives a byproduct that can be in 3 forms. If I can open up.
Here we are in the Kisumu National Polytechnic, and we were doing a project here entailing what we're going to do in this institution. So, in a nutshell, this is an installation that we were instructed. We were supposed to, the L1, the first switch, it has got 2 guns, thereby from this first switch, 1 gun should control the second gun, L2, that is known as L2, and the remaining gun and these other ones, they were to be connected in strappers so as to connect to light the first lamp. So the connection, it began from, when it comes direct from the pole, it comes to the cutout, whereby we now connect it to the energy meter. This is the energy meter. And from this energy meter we have got light and neutral, whereby it comes to the consumer control unit, known as the CCU. And then here we have the double port that links to the MCBs, miniature circuit breakers, whereby the MCBs divides or they separate the circuits. Here we have the socket and the switches. Now for the sockets outlet, we have the 32. Since this socket is connected in drain circuit, so we used the 2 MCBs, whereby the first one brings the power, the other one returns because it's a ring circuit. So we also have the MCB that is 10 amperes, which controls the switches. Now the switch, whenever there is a fault, the MCB will break down. So here at the switch, we've connected them in parallel, because in series the lamps will become dim. But if you connect it in parallel, it will have the good intensity of light that is needed.
Okay, so the Kisumu National Polytechnic. This layout of the diagram wiring that shows 2 bulbs controlled by one bulb is controlled by 3 switches. One bulb also here is controlled by 1 switch. This 2 gun 2-way switches. So from the input
manually
from the input from the input
mahali aliachia ndio uendelea
hapa I'll explain switch. No.
I'll explain. So pick it from the
socket. Okay, so from this point, we get notice that this socket, and this socket, they are in. This one, and this one are connected in ring. In that you get the current flowing inside that supplies this one, supplies this one, supplies this one, and also that flow back from this further end going back to the consumer unit. Here in the switch, get notice that here in 2 gang is 1 gang and 1 gang. This 1 gang, 1 gang, and 1 gang from the other side controls the bulb. Okay? In that when you put this one off, let's say at this point, put one off, put one on, it lights this one. When you at this point, this one can also make this one off. Same way to be here, you can again open it at this point. Thank you.
Okay, in our work, we have got cutout, meter, then we have the CCU. From the CCU, we have got the sockets and the lighting. This one is for the charging and this one is for lighting. With the socket is connected in a ring, of which the current comes, flows to the end, then goes back to the CCU. With the lighting, we have like lighting. The current comes, it's controlled in the first switch, of which it is 2 gun. We have got like this 1 gun, 2nd gun. The first gun controls this one, the second gun. Then the second gun is controlling the first lamp, where this one to this.